I'm very happy to consider Kuopio already, like, especially this music center, my second home. Actually, and pretty much my second living room also. I am a Dane. I'm Danish, but I'm born in Spain. So that's the story. I don't know how good control I have on, but I'm very happy that I have both, the both tempers, the Latin and the Scandinavian, the calm and the outbursty, fiery. It's an important combination in order to make music. It's an international business, so it helps to speak as many languages as possible. But I'm born with 4 languages. Well, born in the sense Spanish and Catalan were my first languages from birth. Danish is my official language number 2. In Spain, in the school, we learned only French. And in the Danish school, which I did also, the last 13 years of school, actually, there we learned, of course, besides Danish, we learned English and Deutsch. But like most musicians, we study in many other countries. Finland is basically my working base since more than 20 years. I never really learned Finnish, but I learned to rehearse in Finnish. Harjoitus suomea. Hyvä kieli. Now I'm a resident in Sweden since 17 years. And of course, well, as a Dane and having studied in Finland, Swedish comes very quickly too. I have been an opera conductor for 20 years, and so Italian and German are for me, besides French occasionally, the main languages in the opera world. Well, I started studying music when I was 10 years old. Then I was already in Denmark. I started piano when I was 10. I started studying violin when I was 12, and I played both, so to speak, on regular basis between 12 and 18 years. It was never my intention to be a soloist, but I knew that I needed a solid musical background, and so I always wanted to be a conductor. It has been very profitable to play the violin 18 years, not necessarily into a high standard, but enough to know what the instrument is about, because 80% of the orchestra anyway is strings. I studied in Copenhagen at the Royal Academy since I was 18 years old, and I had my main occupations was actually choral conducting. And then in Copenhagen we had a sensational professor of conducting who couldn't accept me because I was too young and I had not studied entirely the basis of music in order to move to the conducting class, and the professor was Jorma Panula. I didn't even finish my studies in Copenhagen. I was supposed to study 5 years. I think I did 2.5. In 1991, as Michael said, I joined the Sibelius Academy Kapuluokka. The attractive thing was that the Sibelius Academy had an orchestra, a student orchestra with a few professionals, 20-25 members who were paid to play like we conducted them, so that we could practice on them, something you cannot do in real life, of course. You see, the musical world is full of Finnish conductors. So, yes, because they are everywhere, in America, in Canada, all over Europe, Australia, because of the education in Finland. In the middle of my studies, I started assisting Leif Segerstam. He moved to the Stockholm Opera as chief conductor, and in 1997 he took me along as a talonkapu. I was assistant first in the opera, in the new built Finnish National Opera. Valton Grönros was the opera director, and I was assisting Leif, who was a guest conductor, and then both went to Stockholm. Valton Grönros, who was a famous Finnish baritone with base in Berlin, was opera director first in Kansalais Opera and then in Stockholm, and then Leif became music director in Stockholm, and I came. The first 3 years, between 97 and 2000, I was a talokapu, house conductor, and between 2000 until 2003, I succeeded Leif as chief conductor. I came to Kuopio to do my A-tutkinto, my examination. 20 years ago, I came here to finish my studies, and 20 years later, I'm the chief conductor. To answer Michal's question, I remember we did Elgar, we did Schumann, and we did Brahms.